And hello, everyone. We are here with the Ask Alicia call live business hot seats this week. Very excited about having special guests, Michael Houlihan and Bonnie Harvey. These are New York Times bestselling authors, business speakers, and consultants to Fortune 500s, thought leaders in the business world. So very excited about what we're going to create in the next 60 minutes. And first of all, before we get started, I want you to jump on and let me know from what part of the world you are calling in from. Let me know your name and where you're calling in from. We have Rick. He says, aloha, Alicia, Michael, and Bonnie, and thriving. He's in a blessed, abundant community, so that's great here. So I want to remind everyone that we are broadcasting live on Periscope as well. And so you can visibly see me on Periscope. And you can jump in at bestsellerinaweekend.com/live to see the PowerPoint presentation. So on Periscope, you see the visual, the live streaming, but also online, if you want to see the PowerPoint presentation, you do want to jump on bestsellerinaweekend.com/live. First of all, heart me up on Periscope if you're loving these weekly online free trainings, these business hot seats. I would love to see it. And Tan says she's doing both. She says, she says, good day from Australia. So I love how we have an international crowd here. So we have Jake calling in from West Hollywood. Love that. We have Tan calling from Australia. We have Aurora, who is on Periscope, and she's also on the GoToWebinar. So we're doing it both today, that we can use our smartphones to live stream, but also see the content that is on GoToWebinar.com/live. And Aurora says, how do I make hearts? How do I make hearts? Well, you tap on the smartphone. You tap on the smartphone to make hearts on Periscope. I love Periscope. It's something, actually tap. I do Periscope currently once a week on these Ask Alicia calls. Would you like to see more Ask Alicia during the week? Because currently I do it once a week. Give me some hearts if you want to see more. Wow, lots of hearts going on over there. So great. So again, we are on an Ask Alicia call. We have special guests today, Michael Houlihan and Bonnie Harvey. They're founders of Barefoot Wine, but really they are New York Times bestselling authors, business speakers, consultants to Fortune 500 companies, thought leaders in their industry when it comes to sales, when it comes to marketing, worthy cause marketing, and we're doing it live today. They are on the call. So we're going to be inviting them on pretty soon to put you on the hot seat. But I have specific directions today that all of you get to follow in terms of having access to one of these hot seats. Now, I don't want you to be scared today. When you have access to this amount of power, I mean, these are New York Times bestselling authors. You definitely want to not be shy, do what you need to do. Life is now. Life is in the now. So we have Denise asking, what is Periscope? Periscope is an app that you can download on your iPhone or smartphone, and it is a live streaming. It is live streaming. So it's something that you want to download from the iTunes store, and then you would see me live. And you will be able to see Michael and Bonnie. They're going to be on the GoToWebinar live, but currently you can only see me on Periscope. We're going to just keep it simple. So wonderful. So I'm going to change my little PowerPoint. And I want to tell you, one reason that I have Michael and Bonnie on today is we're going to be doing a very powerful webinar towards the end of the month. Definitely want to write this on. You want to register for this right now. You want to register for this right now. And that is at thebarefootspirit.com/webinar. So spin less, monetize faster with the entrepreneur's GPS. Now, Michael and Bonnie are the founders of the world's #1 wine brand. They are New York Times bestselling authors. This is going to be a 60-minute, no-cost webinar happening September 29th, 2015 at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to talk about how to attract loyal customers, how to engage and empower your people, how to monetize your brand equity. Again, they're New York Times bestselling authors of The Barefoot Spirit, How Hardship, Hustle, and Heart Built America's #1 wine brand. And they have the entrepreneurial culture, 23 ways to engage and empower your people. So you can jump on at thebarefootspirit.com/webinar. You want to do that right now to register for this powerful webinar happening on September 29th. Again, go to thebarefootspirit.com/webinar to sign up for this September 29th, 2015 powerful webinar called Spend Less, Monetize Faster with the Entrepreneur's GPS. Who wants to monetize faster? Raise your hand. Give me some hearts on Periscope. Raise your hand over on the GoToWebinar. I mean, this is what we're in business for. Spending less, it's all about cash flow. It's about in and out. So they're loving it on Periscope. They're hearting it up. So you can do that now, and people over on GoToWebinar are raising their hand. They want to monetize faster, absolutely. So you go to thebarefootspirit.com/webinar to sign up for this webinar. Now, I have specific instructions on how to get on today's hot seat. So listen very carefully. I'm going to repeat them 3 times, and I definitely want you guys on the hot seat. Use this time to get Michael and Bonnie make tens of thousands of dollars in terms of their consulting and their speaking fees. Use this time now to take advantage of this opportunity. So this is the following in terms of the instructions on how to get on today's hot seat. So you're going to do, number 1 is you're going to register for the Spend Less, Monetize Faster webinar at thebarefootspirit.com/webinar. That's number 1. Then you're going to share the webinar link on your social media, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. So you're going to register first, then you're going to share on social media. Now, the fortunate thing is when you register first, it has a little interface where you can just click on Twitter, click on Facebook, and it'll create a share option for you. Or you can just cut and paste and go over to Facebook and say, hey, I'm going to attend this webinar. I suggest you do it as well. And then you can post one of the following images on your social media. Now, the good news is if you're on any of the Ask Alicia pages or Bestseller on a Weekend pages on Facebook, I have these posted already. So you can just share. You can share onto your Facebook groups, onto your Facebook pages, on Instagram. But I want you to do all 3 of these things. It should take you a minute or less to do this. So we're going to give you some time. I have some housekeeping before we jump into the hot seats. And Tan over on Periscope says thebarefootspirit.com/webinar. It's thebarefootspirit.com/webinar. So I'm going to repeat these instructions 2 more times. To get a hot seat, register for the Spend Less, Monetize Faster webinar at www.thebarefootspirit.com/webinar. Then number 2, you're going to share the webinar link on social media. Number 3, you're going to share an image on your social media. So you register, you share the link, and you share the image. You register, you share the link, and then you share the image. Okay, one more time, I'm going to go through those instructions. You register for the Spend Less, Monetize Faster webinar at barefootspirit.com/webinar. You share the webinar link on social media, which is thebarefootspirit.com/webinar, and you share the following images on your social media. You can just click on them and share it to your Facebook page. Share and share and share alike. So it's all there for you. Now, when you're complete with those 3 things, I want you to either on Periscope or the GoToWebinar toolbar, I want you to go in and say, I'm all done. I'm complete. So when you're complete, just let me know and you will be on today's hot seat. So does everyone have it? Heart me over on Periscope or let me know on the GoToWebinar control panel if you are complete with those instructions. And what I want everyone to know is expect this going forward. I'm going to be very, very instructional around how to get on the hot seat because we have a lot of people who want to take advantage of this. We have experts coming throughout the weeks. You definitely want to jump on and get one of these hot seats. So any questions? Okay, so far we don't. Are we all good on Periscope? Awesome. Okay, good stuff. Just a few more housekeeping things, and we're going to jump on to the hot seats. Okay, great. So my birthday party, Alicia's 40th birthday party celebration is in Las Vegas on December 4th, 2015, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. This is a networking event. I'm going to have my clients, I'm going to have colleagues, friends. This is a celebration of my 40th birthday, but what we're doing collectively is we are raising and fundraising money for Pencils of Promise. So as a community, we can build a school together. I believe we've raised about $3,000 so far. So to get access to this birthday party, obviously got to get yourself to Vegas. I don't help with that, but it's a $75 donation. This is a tax-deductible donation to the Pencils of Promise. So you go to http://fundraise.pencilsofpromise.org/Alicia Dunams. Okay, and so you go to that address to get access, and you donate $75. So that's what I wanted my community to create that. So how are we doing in terms of the instructions to get a hot seat? Are we doing okay? Oh, there we go. Ooh, let's see. Didn't want to go there. Okay, and then I just wanted another housekeeping that we are live streaming from Periscope, so you can jump on there. And this is something that happens every Thursday. So if you don't have Periscope, it's all right. You can still just see us on GoToWebinar. But if you do want to see the live streaming, you can go like me and get notified every Thursday when we are doing this. So all good there. So again, I know you guys want this hot seat. So I'm going to, the instructions on how to get a hot seat is on the screen. When you are complete, just let me know. Just say done, that you've done the sharing, that you shared on the Facebook pages, the groups, my Facebook pages. You can do it anywhere. I'm just wanting you to share and share alike, but you register first, and you share the link, and you share the image. So with that, I want to invite on the New York Times bestsellers, Michael Houlihan and Bonnie Harvey. We're going to share a little bit about them, and then we're going to jump into the hot seats. So with that, I would love to get you guys on, Michael and Bonnie.
Good.
We're here.
So Michael and Bonnie, great to see you guys. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing and a little bit about your story before we get on to the hot seat.
Well, since we sold Barefoot Wines, we've been doing a lot of consulting. We've been talking to students at universities that are studying entrepreneurship. So we've really been able to get the message out about the lessons that we learned developing a business. And it's really been helping to support a lot of other people.
Awesome.
Yeah, imagine starting a business like Barefoot in our laundry room. We had no money. We had no knowledge of the industry. You know, we went out there and, you know, basically learned a lot of lessons the hard way and developed this huge brand. It turns out to be the largest wine brand in the world. Starts in a laundry room by people just like you.
Great. And Aurora says that I hear them, Bonnie is too cute. So Aurora in Vegas thinks you're too cute. Christian says I can see them, I can hear them. Everyone says, Tan says, love you guys. Good day from Australia. I know you just got back from Australia.
Yes, we
did. We just got back from down under. We had a great time down there. We went to Sydney, we went down to Melbourne, and we went up to Brisbane. And we spoke at Griffith Gold Coast College, which is a beautiful university up there just south of Brisbane. We had a great time. It's just going into spring down there from winter, so it's nice weather.
Great, wonderful. And so what's next for Michael and Bonnie in 2015 and 2016 coming up?
Well, we're going to continue to talk with people to share the lessons we've learned. We've realized through our talks that we have a lot of things to offer that aren't taught in schools, that a lot of people that are starting businesses or they're growing their brand, that they really need to hear these things. We want to help people monetize faster. And we probably could have succeeded in half the amount of time if somebody like us, with our kind of experience, had sat us down and told us the things that we needed to know in the beginning. So that's the best time, I think, to help people out with the information that we have to share, is when they're starting their businesses or when in the growth phase.
And so what we're doing about it is we've kind of packaged what we know into this webinar we're really excited about that we're going to be releasing very shortly. It's Spend Less, Monetize Faster. It's about what we call the GPS, which are the guiding principles for success. And so we took a look at our history and we said, you know, there's certain principles that we went into it with that were correct and helped us, and then there's other principles that we learned on the way that we didn't know and we learned the hard way. So let's package all that and let's put that into a webinar that can take people from where they are right now, which is probably underfinanced and underknowledge, and make them successful entrepreneurs. So that's what we're doing. We're very excited about it. It's called the Entrepreneur's GPS.
Great.
Guiding principles for success, yes.
Absolutely. And we're going to have that on September 29th, and everyone gets to register right now by going to thebarefootspirit.com/webinar. Thebarefootspirit.com/webinar. Again, that is part of the instructions to get on the hot seat. You're going to register for that. You're going to share the link, and yeah, we're doing link share. We're doing some love over here, and so that's what we're doing, and we want to get started. So who is ready for a hot seat? I'm going to put the slides back up because I know people are looking for the slides. Who is ready for the hot seat? Let me know. We got Linda here. Linda, are you ready for the hot seat?
Hi, Linda. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, let me put her on right now. And Linda, we do have website slides. I have the video on of them, so that's why you see that. Okay, Linda, how are you?
Not great. I've got a bad cold. I just sent you a note. I don't have much of a voice.
Oh, you don't have much of a voice today. Okay, well, text me in any question that you have for the Barefooters, and we can answer that. I'm sorry that you have a cold today.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, who else is ready for the hot seat? As those come in, again, you get to share, you get to register, and you get to share. And let's see, over on Periscope, and let me know anyone on Periscope who is ready for the hot seat. Now, as we wait for the hot seat, Michael and Bonnie, tell us a little bit about becoming New York Times bestseller and how that has changed your business and your speaking.
Well, you know, when we talk about entrepreneurship, one of the things we advise people to do is to get a professional to help them do the things that they're not skilled at. In other words, do what you do best and delegate the rest.
Right.
Don't try to do everything. And when we did the New York Times bestseller, it was no different. We went out and looked for a consultant, Alicia Dunams, of course, and to help us with the book, you know, putting the book together. And we also went out and found a ghostwriter, Rick Cushman. And we knew that we were not really skilled at writing in the style that we wanted to present this material. We're really business writers, and we write in very prescriptive terms. You know, here's the 3 things you got to do, the 8 things to never do, the 28 things your customer wants from you. And that's the format that most books are written in these days.
Business books. Yes.
Business books, right. Mm-hmm. And so we decided to write a business book that was a business adventure story, where you kind of get up in the morning with Michael and Bonnie and you watch them go out there and get hit in the head with a brick of reality, and they have to pick themselves up off the sidewalk and dust themselves off and go out there and tackle the situation and learn the lessons and take the lumps. And so this approach to writing a book was very popular. It became a New York Times bestseller. It became a New York Times bestseller in the business section. I think, what was our favorite accolade that we received on the book? Wasn't it from a 23-year-old student?
Yes, our book is in a number of universities now, about 30 or 40 universities in the classrooms. And the comment that we got that we really appreciated most, I think, was from a student that said, "This is the first business book that I actually finished." It was because it was entertaining and educational.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, great. So anyone who wants to jump into the hot seat, let's see. We have Tan. Tan, are you ready to jump on the hot seat? Let us know. Okay, let's jump in. So Tan is ready. Tan, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Doing really well. So we got Michael and Bonnie right here. What is your question? What are you looking to accomplish in your business?
Hi, Michael. Hi, Bonnie. And I'm just down the road from Griffith Uni that you visited in Australia.
My goodness. My goodness. Well, good day, mate.
G'day. Listen, what I would really love advice on is about a step-by-step marketing strategy, where I have written a book, or just about finished a book, about helping women whose husbands or partners have cancer. And so it's actually for friends and family of the woman, if that makes sense, who has cancer, and a guide to sort of help her. I would love to know how you actually got invited to speak at universities or to promote your book. Is there a step-by-step strategy that you actually sat down and worked out a plan of this is where we're going to take our book, and this is where we're going to go, and this is how we're going to get our speaking engagements?
Well, when we're looking for our audience, or when we were looking for buyers of our product, we go to where they gather. So we went to a convention where we were keynote speakers at USASP. That's the U.S. Association of Small Business and Entrepreneurs. And at that convention, that was our perfect audience. So we went to a place where our perfect audience already gathered. So I think I would give you the same advice. You want to understand where the friends and families would be going, where they'd be gathering, and you want to go there and let them know that you have this service to offer them.
So now I take it you're selling a book, is that right?
Yes.
And you want to speak, and you want to be a speaker, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So as you know, your book is your business card, right? And in order to, and it's really, which comes first, the chicken or the egg here. What we do is when we get a speaking engagement, we tell them this is our fee, and we will help you do what you really want to do. This is put yourself in the other guy's shoes. Remember, the best sales pitch in the world goes just like this. I can help you sell your product. If you say that to somebody, they're going to say how. So what you can do is you can help fill the seats. You can help with the attendance at various conventions and conferences, and you can do it in a number of ways. One is you can speak about what you know to an audience that you've already pre-qualified, who are people who are in this particular circumstance. So the first thing you have to do is find out, how are these people organized? What are the groups that already exist that provide care for these people or provide a forum for these people? And I'm sure they do. So then the second thing you have to do is when you talk to the promoters, here's what we do. We say, look, we're the New York Times best-selling founders of the world's largest wine brand, and we will come and speak for you. And you can give our book away for free to the people who attend as an added value to the cost of the tickets that they're going to pay you to come to this conference. And so they buy the book from you for as many attendees as they have. Say they have 100 attendees or 200 attendees. They buy the book from you. You give it to them for a very, very inexpensive price. And you give it to them in a really clean way. In our case, we say $10 delivered. Okay, now on Amazon, our book is $15.95, and it's $5 to deliver it unless you're an Amazon Club member. Sure, you can get a used book for $1, and you can probably get it for free on some sites, but that's not the point. The point is that you want to demonstrate value. So whatever the cover price of your book is, you give it to them on a delivered basis, and then you deliver the books when you go to the event, or you ship the books to the event. So now what you're doing is you're giving them something that can help them sell the tickets. You're saying, if you come to our event, you're going to hear this person who's a thought leader in this particular area. You're going to get her book, and she's going to sign it for you. It's a lot different than sitting in the back of the room, with an iPad and a square, and the guy that's 12 back is getting frustrated because you can't take the money fast enough. So that way you're going to sell 100 or 200 or 300 books at a time rather than 12 or 15 or 50. So that's what we do. I don't know if that helps you. I think the key for you is to find the groups who are going to benefit the most by what you have to say.
Beautiful.
Does that
That's
help?
excellent.
Does that
Yes,
help you?
that's very helpful. May I just Alicia, can I ask one more quick question
You
that's
absolutely,
related, or have you got other people?
you absolutely can ask a question.
Thank you. I just, when you first started, and I mean, obviously you've grown your business tremendously, so you probably had a lot of contacts. So to get your book out there, get your information out there, did you do cold calling? Did you send out a whole lot of emails? Or did people actually come to you and invite you to speak first?
Okay.
Well, really all of those things. You reach out to all of your resources and you look at all of your assets and you combine them to see how they all fit together and how you can make the best use of your time and energy by contacting the greatest number of people. Again, you go for our clubs or associations that are already in existence. So you're not just meeting one person at a time or one email at a time, but you're working with a large group that already exists in the first place. But we did all of those things.
That's
The other
awesome.
thing that I would suggest that you think about is, so you find a group, like cancer survivors or some kind of a support group for people that are involved with that challenge right now in their lives, and you find out when their conference is. You go to their conference, and when you're at their conference, you network, and you find out people that you can network with who know about other conferences, who know about other things that can help you. It's amazing how important it is to be physically there. You can try to network all you want on social media, but one conference is going to result in more money for you than all the social media in the world. And it's because when people see you face to face, they feel that you're making friends, especially if you follow up. And so now they're interested in sharing their network with you. So what we've done is we've built our network based upon face-to-face, real-world meetings at conferences.
Great. So on Periscope and on GoToWebinar, one thing that landed for you in terms of what Michael and Bonnie are talking about. Chabibi10 says, network with the right groups on Periscope. Thank you so much. Who here, first of all, heart it up or let us know in the GoToWebinar control panel, who here thought that Tan's questions were great questions? What did it elicit a response that you wanted to hear, something that will help you in your own personal business? Please let us know what landed for you particular, because again, we learn by recapitulating or recapping what landed for us. So what I heard was, what landed for me is that conference face-to-face interaction is very powerful. And then what I heard, and I'm going to add the word relentless to it, but following up, and I like to say relentless follow through. Relentless follow through is a very powerful way, meeting people and then following up. Because at the end of the day, business is about relationships. It's about following up with people and doing what you're going to say. So I have a challenge for everyone on this call right now. I want you guys to step it up to the next level. Okay, we've had Tan who reached out, we've had Linda who reached out. If you consider yourself leaders, you got to be using this next 32 minutes and this 30, 40 years of knowledge that is sitting on the other side of the phone. Use this as an opportunity for your business to take your leadership, to take your business to the next level. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And if you're not showing up on this call, well, I can say that why your business is not where it is. So use this as an opportunity. So we had Aurora said, thank you, Tan, for stepping up. Thank you. Your book is very much needed. Someone else on Periscope said your book is your business card. That landed for you. So who's ready to step it up? Who's ready to step it up and take it to the next level? Okay, love that. Denise says, I like the question about book marketing in particular. For those of us focused on writing and not public speaking, that's really important. So Denise, you found that was really good. Aurora says face-to-face. People seeing you makes them feel like you are really engaging. You are engaging. And Linda says, I definitely need to step up my game. Okay? And that's a learning point for everyone on this call. Use this as an opportunity. So we got a question from Dr. Shane. And Dr. Shane, he texted it in. Dr. Shane is asking, what, in terms of, he has his second book coming on, he's a marriage counselor, and he specializes in African American people. So he's an African American marriage counselor, and he has a new book coming out called The Black Manual: Less Drama, More Love, a Single Woman's Guide to Finding Mr. Right. So he is a marriage counselor. He's appeared on TV, BET, actually has appeared speaking in the United Nations, not the United Nations, but the nation's capital, on what is happening in marriage in Black America. And so his question is launching an online business and building your online team. What is your suggestion, Michael and Bonnie, about building a team and really making one of these online businesses work?
Well, the first thing you got to do is realize that an online business requires a lot of different kinds of services. And these services, sometimes they're $27 a month, sometimes they're $35 a month, sometimes they're $500 for a year. You have to understand each one of these services, what their nickname is, how much they cost, and what they do. It's really critical that everybody on your team understands what these services are. I mean, when you're taking a webinar, you just take it for granted that somehow you got a reminder that the webinar is next Tuesday. And then you got a reminder Sunday night that it was Tuesday, and then you got a reminder on Monday that it was Tuesday. Who wrote those reminders? What kind of mechanism sent those reminders to you? So that's a service. And then how are you going to keep track of all the people that you have that you're trying to get to buy your webinars? That's another service. Okay, so what you learn here is it's just like a bricks and mortar store. If you have a store, you need to have a janitor, you need to have a painter, you need to have security, you need to have lights and power. You have to have all this stuff in order to run a bricks and mortar store. Well, to run an online store, you have to be able to provide the customer with all these kinds of messages. And you have to provide them at the right time. They have to say the right thing. You have to know what the answers to these messages are and what other kinds of messages are promulgated as a result of this. So I would say that the first thing you have to do is to really understand the landscape of doing business online, especially if you think you're going to be selling webinars. If you think you're going to be selling products online, then you have to realize that it becomes a race for the bottom price-wise. It's not like you can go out there and hold your price very long because somebody's going to underbid you on another site. So it gets to be a price war. If you're trying to sell a book online, that's a whole different world altogether. So, I mean, you go to Amazon, the minute you put your book on Amazon, it's going to be free on some site within about 2 or 3 days. It's going to be for free. So, I mean, how do you make money on that? On Amazon, for instance, I can buy an ebook. If I don't like it, I can turn it back to Amazon. Amazon can then bill me as the producer of the book for the full value of the book. The guy got the book, he downloaded, he read it. So, I mean, it's really difficult to make money online unless what you're offering is really well thought out. You have to come up with a model where people are getting value that you're delivering. And I think probably the closest thing to that is the webinar profile. We use online media to promote our speaking and our consulting too, which is another way of making money. But putting a team together is tough because it's hard to find people who really understand all these different aspects that I've just mentioned. You have to start outsourcing to experts and bringing them into your team. If, for instance, you decide to use Infusionsoft or one of those programs, you have to hire an Infusionsoft expert because, yes, it does everything for you, but it's so complicated that you need an expert to do it. So we have a friend in Canada who says that if you've got content, you need 2 things. You need content and you need a technical guru. So you need to have a partnership with somebody who's really technically savvy. There's so many ways this stuff can screw up.
And when you're building a team, well, we have an extended webinar, and one of the topics that we talk about in great detail is personnel management. And that's really essential for building a good team, for being successful in your business. There's things you need to watch out for when you're hiring people. For instance, you want to hire for hustle. You want to make sure that they're very active and that they're concerned about the details that you need to rely on them to be taken care of. You want to know that your team is all working together towards the same goals. So you have to share your goals with your team and your challenges and your opportunities. So these are the kind of things that we talk about in our webinar, and it's very broad information about how to hire the right people, how to build a team, and also how to compensate them so that they know that they're all working together and relying on each other. Compensation, when you pay people right, the performers can't afford to leave, and the non-performers can't afford to stay. Now that's a good lesson to take home with you.
Says it all right there. That's a tweetable. Can you say that over, Bonnie? That last bit?
When you're paying people properly, the performers can't afford to leave, and the non-performers can't afford to stay. That's because the performers are being paid, they're being compensated on their performance, on their contributions, on the contributions that they make to the bottom line of your company, to the profits. And the non-performers, when they're being compensated on how much they're contributing, if they're contributing as much, they're going to be paid a lot less. Therefore, they can't afford to stay.
Love it. Aurora says, you guys are on fire, learning so much from you today. She's giving you several hearts on Periscope. Performers can't afford to leave, and non-performers can't afford to stay when your pay is based on compensation based on performance. I love that. Please share that on Twitter, everyone. That's so powerful. Everyone gets to know that beyond this call. Tan says, it says, what a gem was that piece of information. And so I want everyone to know on Periscope, on GoToWebinar, what has landed for you in terms of Michael and Bonnie, what they just mentioned. What has landed? I know that last quote landed for everyone. Aurora says, Infusionsoft is way too complicated for me. It feels like more work. Linda says, I have a book on how to get a college education debt-free. I don't really know how to best promote it. I have an opportunity to do a radio interview in 2 weeks, so I want to make the most out of it. So Linda, we will get to that question in a second. So anyone, what were some golden nuggets out of that last one? One for me was there's content and there's distribution. As online entrepreneurs, if you're taking your business online, which even consultants, service providers, they get to take their business online as well, because something that you're doing on a one-to-one basis, you could provide many times on a one-to-many basis, and you can have clients all over the world. Just like we have Tan from Australia here. I have a client right now in the Netherlands. We have the capabilities and the technology to reach people all over the world. And the whole thing is writing a book, which the Barefooters did, the founders of Barefoot One, and New York Times bestsellers. They wrote a book. That was their 1 to million model. Because I always tell everyone in the world can buy a copy of your book, but not everyone in the world can buy an hour of your time. So here. Everyone in the world can buy a copy of your book, but not everyone in the world can buy an hour of your time. And the reason I say that is you want to diversify your product and service offerings. If all you are doing is trading hours for dollars, it could be an honest living, but it could be an exhausting living. So you want to diversify and create a business model that's sustainable and scalable. So who wants that? A business model that's scalable and sustainable. Let me know. So the content and distribution. So the thing about online and why we have quite a hefty learning curve when it comes to technology is because this is a way to scale our content. But what I'm coaching my clients to do, and Michael, we're talking about this now, and Bonnie, is I want my clients to bring it in-house and or learn it themselves. And some of my clients are really launching their business. They're learning it themselves. They're learning Infusionsoft, because that way you're not held hostage. You're not held hostage by a website designer that you don't hear from for 9 months. One of my clients, their website designer literally put the website up, and she did not hear from them for 9 months. She didn't have her code to get in. She couldn't get access to her emails. She was crying. She called me crying. And you don't want to set up a business where people are holding you hostage. And sometimes, I mean, again, we hope the best. We hope and pray for the best, but your online assets are very important. So you want to make sure that maybe you're teaching your team, but you want to have a hand on the pulse as well. You want to have a hand on the pulse as well. So good stuff. Okay, so let's see what people it's landing, and then we're going to get to Linda's question. So let's see. Aurora says, bottom line, Michael said it, you have to get out and network in person. Beautiful. Aurora says, content and distribution, very important. And distribution is oftentimes very interlinked by technology. Let's see. Linda says, I love this because many people promote themselves as gurus at marketing online and who promote making six figures from an online business. Rarely, if ever, talk about the team that has to create the six figures. Absolutely. I had a very bad experience with two web designers who had emotional meltdowns and disappeared when it was astronomically important that they were there to launch the site. Linda, that's so perfect. That's so perfect. So the thing is about these people who launch these six-figure businesses, absolutely they have a team. Absolutely they have a team. And a lot of times, I mean, I know personally a couple online marketers who have seven-figure businesses who they spend $1,001 million a year running that business. So at the end of the day, that's why we're talking about spend less, monetize faster. Going to the barefootspirit.com/webinar to get signed up for Michael and Bonnie's program. Because what I love about Michael and Bonnie is they don't fake the funk when it comes down to it. They're like real when it comes to, you have to have, in terms of profits, it's all about what goes out. And talk a little bit about that, Michael and Bonnie, in terms of cash flow.
Well, okay, so basically what cash flow is what goes out and what comes in, like you say. So, here's a guy who's got a six-figure online business, but you find out it costs him six figures to run it. So, what is he really netting? So it's really not about the size of your cash flow. It's about the size of your profits. And so, you want to look for models that are more profitable. In terms of the cost of running an online business, we're all learning this at the same time because the technology is changing daily. I mean, right now there's about 6 or 7 different services that you need in order to do a webinar business successfully. But 5 years from now, that'll all be packaged down to one business, to one service. And in fact, within 5 years, there might even be companies that say, I will do all of that for you for a piece of the action, and you just provide the content. But right now, we're still in the Wild West. We're still in the early days, and we're learning all these different things that are necessary to make this happen. And everybody's putting their hand up and saying, I have a service that will do that particular part of the job, but nobody has like a comprehensive service. And so, we're at the early days right now, so I guess my advice is, you've got to pay the price to get out there, but once you do get out there, you want to start trimming your costs. You want to really start spending some time working on your business instead of in your business and saying, now where can I cut costs? Where can I be more efficient? As Alicia says, where can we take this in-house? Really take a look at some of these things. Say, do we really need this? So many of these services, they can do 100 things, but you only need 4 of them. So you have to buy the whole 100 in order to get the 4 you need. And so that justifies the $50, $75 a month fee. So this is the kind of thing that I think that we have to do, which is to look at our business in a staged way and say, yes, it's going to cost us an awful lot to get out there, and yes, we don't know what we're doing, and yes, we're going to contract with a lot of people that are probably overcharging us, but in the long run, we're going to trim it up, we're going to tighten it up, and we're going to become efficient, and we're going to make profit. It's very, like I said, it's very difficult to make profit. I mean, it takes years before you actually make profit online because you're spending all the money that's coming in your cash flow. It goes right back out. And it goes back out in learnings. It goes back in research. It goes back in services, and it goes back in schools.
And cash flow management is really essential for anybody that wants to be successful in their business. It's so important that in our extended webinar, we gave it a full hour. We call it cash flow management, and it's not just about managing the funds that come in and go out. It's about making the best use of your resources. Once again, you look around and you see what resources you have. And that gets back to who benefits when you benefit. Well, if you're buying supplies from someone, when you grow, they grow because you're able to order more supplies. So you want to stay in touch with the people that you're dealing with in your business, with your suppliers. If you're in touch with them and they know what your goals are, what your challenges are, and you meet with them on a regular basis, then they learn to trust you and they actually become a strategic partner in your business. So look around and see who your strategic partners are. Who benefits when you benefit? Be in touch with them on a regular basis. See what you can share. If they've got excess supply, maybe they can give that to you at a lower price. If they know that you've got an opportunity to grow, and as I said, when you grow, they will grow, then maybe they'll give you extended terms. There's lots of ways that you can make the best use out of your dollars without having to borrow money or have an investor. And that's what we did. We started without money, and we learned how to do these things, and that's why we spent so much time talking about it in our book and also in our webinar.
Linda says, oh my God, no one tells the bare bones truth like this about online business. These two are awesome. And I totally love Barefoot Wine. So love that. Thank you so much, Linda. And it's interesting. When I launched online in 2012, I did make money because I did everything myself. I kept costs really low, and I really called it the rubber band and gum approach to building an online business. I kind of put it together. I mean, I was using PayPal and I was using Aweber. I used really low, either no cost or low cost software technologies and platforms to launch my business. And so one thing that I do is every quarter you want to check what's going out. What is going out and how can you either outsource it, lower it, so it's the whole, what's coming in, what's going out. And it is important because a lot of people can spin and not knowing exactly what is going on and having the hand on the pulse there. So thank you for that.
Alicia, I'd like to respond to that too, and I understand what you're saying, doing it all yourself and how you were able to get started and save money doing that. For us in our company, and it really depends on what kind of business you're in, for us in our company, instead of doing everything ourselves, we found that it was best to contract with other people. We contracted for our grapes. We didn't own a vineyard. We contracted for our bottling services. We didn't own a bottling facility. We contracted for our printing. We didn't have a big printing department. So these kind of things can help you save money. It depends on the business. There's different ways to look at things according to the business. But once again, it's looking at what you do best and delegating the rest. So congratulations on doing that yourself to get started, Alicia.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And Heloise says, in the dozens of webinars I've viewed, learning, this is the first time I've heard anyone share this aspect of online business. Thank you. Kudos. Great. So what is landing? Share that on Periscope. Heart us up on Periscope. Share on the GoToWebinar control panel. What is landing? Again, you only learn by recapping and teaching other people. What landed for you? What are you going to take away from this conversation? Please share with us on Periscope and on GoToWebinar control panel. So we can learn more from this. And please share. And I know at the beginning, I want you guys to step it up collectively as a community. Many of you have attended my Bestseller in a Weekend program. Many of you have maybe attended 60 Days to Six Figures, audiobook in a weekend, whatever. One of my programs you've created. And the reason I create this weekly course is to continue to have to reach out, to give back to my community, bringing experts on every week. And so one thing I really want to challenge you and invite you to take yourself to the next level is to step up as a leader. Get on the phone. So I know a lot of you are texting me and emailing me questions. How about let's get face-to-face right here, right now, just as Bonnie and Michael said, let's get face-to-face right here, right now on the phone. So I want to know who is ready for that, who's ready to step up because a lot of times we hide behind text messaging. We hide behind social media. We are scared for interaction. And the reason that I'm bringing these experts on, like Michael and Bonnie, is for you to network. Just the last couple of weeks, I told you this, someone who took Bestseller in a weekend, I connected them with someone in my network, and now they have a potential high five-figure advanced publishing deal on the table. Okay? So that's what is possible when you take a step out. Today's ceiling is tomorrow's floor. So I want you collectively as a group to hold each other high and step it up, because a lot of you are listening and you're lurking, but step it up. Listen and learn, but who's ready to go on the hot seat next? We have 10 more minutes to go on the hot seat. We have Christian. I have lots of questions. Christian, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to rock and roll? Okay, Christian said he is. We have 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes, 9 minutes right now to jump on. So Christian, I am going to take you onto the hot seat. Hope you are ready. Because again, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So step it up as a group, you guys. Okay, awesome. Christian, you there?
I'm here.
Awesome. Okay, take it to the next level. Where do you want to go? What are you looking to accomplish?
Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure if you can hear me or see me. Well, I really appreciate, I understand the stress or the overwhelm that comes with building an online business, and I'm just starting with mine. I've written a book. Now my next step is building an online course that will be sold probably for about $500 to entrepreneurs. So right now, I'm at the point where finally I have my lead page down, I have a free giveaway down. Now, my next big step is to build a mailing list, to build a following, so I can do a survey to see if my product is actually wanted. And I'm following David Side Garland, which Alicia is very familiar with, so I'm kind of following his recipe. So I guess the biggest question right now is, what are the best ways that you know to create a following and build an email list in a niche market where I don't have any followers yet?
Okay, great. And what is your market? What is your product?
Young entrepreneurs.
Okay, so target
It's-
audience is young entrepreneurs, and what are you selling to them? What's their pain point? How are you solving it?
The product will be on how to create instant rapport, how to connect with people, how to increase sales, and everything is based on neurolinguistic programming, since that is my background.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, great. Michael and Bonnie, do you have to speak on that? I know I have a few things I'd like to say.
Yes, good. Well, once again, you look to see where the audience that you're looking for are gathering. You look to see what clubs and events that they attend. You, whenever you're meeting people, of course, you want to get their business card and enter them into your system. But where do you get the most of those? It's at conventions. It's meeting people face to face. It's finding out where your ideal buyer, your ideal audience is gathering. And you go there and you communicate with them in person there. That's a perfect way of really making an impression, is in-person meetings.
And the thing that I would add to that is, in your case, you're looking for young entrepreneurs. The good news is that the new generation, the so-called millennials, over half of them want to be entrepreneurs. Because of the recession, they watched their parents get laid off at the corporations, and they were the last hired, so they were the first fired. And so they're very skeptical about a corporate career. They don't see any security in it. So they want to be entrepreneurs. And so you're offering a skill that will help them with the key element of entrepreneurship, which is relationships. Okay. Now you heard Alicia talking about people stepping up and not hiding behind text. Well, I just want to tell you this: there's 20 muscles in the face that make over 600 expressions. When you're talking to people face to face, you can surmise whether or not they're getting your message, whether they think you're full of it, or whether they think you're brilliant, or whether they think it's laughable, whatever. And you have a chance to change your pitch, to change your content, and to still win the day with that person. When you're emailing them, when you're texting them, you have no idea how they're reacting to it. all you're doing is it's reduced to just text. So anyway, the bottom line is you want to sell what you have to offer the way that you are promoting it yourself, which is you are telling people that if they can communicate with each other face to face using neuro-linguistic programming concepts and understandings, that they will be better and these relationships better at sales, better at hiring, better at communication, and all of these other aspects of business. So do that yourself. Go to these conferences and demonstrate to people some of these keys. One of the things that I would do, and it's kind of a cheap trick, is to come up like 3 or 4 little tells, as they call it in poker, where people give away what they're really thinking. And have that on a card or have that in some form that you can hand people at a conference. And they'll try it and they'll go, oh, this is oh so true. Who is that guy? What is his email? What is his URL? I think I want to check that out. So that's my suggestion.
Great.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Christian, for that question. I have a few things. If you want to build an email list online, obviously, it's all about relationships. But in terms of building an email list online, when you're creating an online community, whether it's a Facebook group, whether it's an Instagram community, whether it's a LinkedIn community, whether it's an email list, when you create an email, when you create an online community, you want some way where you touch them. High touch, what I call it. And so just like what we're doing right now, we're getting messy. I'm connecting with you individually, even on this call. And so that's where it really is created. So not being in broadcast mode where you send out emails. When someone responds to an email, get back to them or have a team member get back to them. The reason I do these calls is because I was having such a hard time keeping up with emails that I'm like, if you want to talk to me, let's get on this call every week and I'll answer your questions in person, because email is really tough for me to handle right now. So during this, I have an office hour, 1 hour on Thursday. Let's connect during that time. Facebook groups, the same thing. The power of Facebook is in the groups. It's a way to engage, collaboration, community. So there's some powerful ways to build your Facebook group. You can give away free things to get them into a group. I just had Dr. Shane Perot, he just created a group around his book, and it's all single women, and they are loving it. And he's creating contests every week and asking questions and videos. So he's engaging, but it is about the two-way communication, two-way conversation. It's not about one-way broadcast. It's about communicating back and forth. And that's the basis of book marketing. That's the base of marketing your business. And so whatever you build online, whether it's social media, email list, you definitely want to connect with them in a heart-to-heart human capacity. So great. Thank you for Christian stepping it up. And again, you guys continue to step it up for the rest of the day. I'm going to ask you this question. You can take it. It's going to take it internally. What are you committed to creating today? What, as a leader, as an online business owner, as an author, as a coach, what are you committed to creating today? And with that, I want to thank Michael Houlihan and Bonnie Harvey for sharing their experience and for putting you guys on the hot seat. Again, such a wealth of knowledge and education being here in this moment. So definitely grateful for you guys taking the time out of your day to be here and be here for this community. And Tam says she's finding conferences and clubs. Thank you guys. People are in action. They're committed. So again, committed action right now. Go to thebarefootspirit.com/webinar. Sign up for the 60-minute at the end of this month, September 29th at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Spend less and monetize faster with the Entrepreneur's GPS. barefootspirit.com/webinar. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, Michael and Bonnie.
Been our pleasure.
Happy to be here.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for being on the call. And we'll see you next week for Ask Alicia. Everyone, take care. All the best.
Bye.
Bye-bye.